Hello ladies and gentlemen, Kyukon here with another broadcast for you today here on Delta Quadrant. And today we have another matchup versus the STC and sSKS, who is also known as Tester, a great Protoss player. I have already broadcast one of their games, and it was on Metalopolis if I remember correctly, and it was a very, very good game. Lots of drops on the STC side where sSKS just really had to fight it off with his Stalker Zealot army he had. So hopefully another great game today from them. The map is Delta Quadrant, which is a map that doesn't come up very often and you don't see very often. And what's very tricky about this map is that there's a natural expansion which is completely isolated and it's surrounded by rocks. So really, you can expand very easily on this map and be almost completely protected from everything except, you know, ranged units attacking your probes or SCVs, and both players do have that. There's also another natural in front of the base, which is equally as close, but it's really right out in the open, and there's so much that they can do to harass you there. So very risky to play right there, although kind of is the same way if they've ranged units to attack you at the isolated natural as well. But back to the game, the STC seems to be doing a standard opening, getting his barracks out right away, not yet sending out a probe, and speak of the devil, there it goes. sSKS here doing another standard opening, getting his gateway and a gas fairly early as well. So it looks like both players are getting their gases early, probably not going to be seeing any early expansions or real early harassment, so they both seem to be going a fairly macro-oriented build. The STC here going perfect with his scout right away into his opponent's base. Didn't waste time checking other places, as he's going to see the Cybernetics Core coming up. Probably not going to be doing any Reaper harassment with the Cybernetics Core. The sSKS will be getting an early Stalker. And although we do see a Tech Lab, so he still might try the Reaper harassment anyway, even knowing that a Stalker is going to come up. We'll just have to wait and see. And it looks like there's going to be Marauder, yep. And Orbital Command already finished for the STC, so very fast to get his economy up, getting those mules and getting really lots of minerals in there as fast as he possibly can. And at the same time, the STC is building a bunker in sSKS's base, trying to get some early harassment going, and now just chrono boosting out the Stalker as fast as he can, trying to take it down, choosing not to pull probes off the line to kill this worker. That's what a lot of people do. I'm kind of surprised he isn't. He is harassing it with one probe, just not enough, and the bunker did get finished in time. The SCV is running away and trying to get the Stalker out as fast as possible. Although what sSKS doesn't know is that this Marauder is nowhere near the bunker, and the bunker is really just there for no reason. It's going to get taken down before any units get to it. Not really a big deal, as I think sSKS realizes, seeing that nothing's coming. And looks like that probe got harassed by a Marauder, but the Marauder chose not to kill it, probably trying to get to the bunker. And there is a Reaper out already. Zealots coming out for sSKS as the STC is now producing his factory and pumping out more Marauders, it appears to be, as he is sending up some units to try and harass a base, as looks like the bunker was forced to be salvaged, and this probe might start building another bunker. Looks like he's just going to harass and see what's coming up, as now that the Stalkers are pulled away from the middle line. If the Reaper can get in there and do some harassment, and looks like so far it's just going to be sitting up here checking to see if there's any natural expansions going. The SCV up here did get taken down, but the Reaper's just going to wait and see what happens. The probe's still sitting here. Marauder army coming to be. Starport very early coming out for the SCC. He is going the 111 build, which is also known as the Destiny Cloud Fist build, I believe it's called. I'll have a Husky on that one. Reaper seems to have gotten taken out by the Stalkers. Bad timing, and really seems to have not done any damage at all, as Harvesters for sSKS are still at 25. Very even Harvester count. Looks like economy, no one really has the advantage right now, but it does look like sSKS might be getting ready to secure this isolated natural expansion over here, as the STC is just scouting around the Marauder, as he's probably going to be pumping out, I'd assume, Cloaked Banshees if he's getting Starport so early, but no, he is getting a Medivac and not even going siege engines with his factory. So it looks like he's going to be doing a drop ship with this very, very early Medivac. Not sure what he's expecting to drop in, though, as he's already noticed that sSKS has a fairly good Stalker army that could hold off any early aggression. And now the Robotics Bay is coming up for sSKS, sorry. So it looks like we will be seeing some early Colossi as well from him, as Stimpaks are being researched for the STC at the same time as he's securing his expansion, which is really out in the open. Interesting choice to go with that instead of the isolated natural over there, as the STC is scouting around, making sure nothing's being secured. And here comes a dropship for the STC. Pretty bad timing too for sSKS, as he's now bringing up his natural over in that area over there. And looks like we should be seeing Colossi coming very soon from Mr. Box's facility, since the Bay is finishing right now. We'll probably be seeing Thermal Lances at about the same time. And really just this Nexus coming up as the dropship drops down. Marauder's taking it out. Will they be able to take it out before sSKS realizes? And looks like he was able to take it out and was not finished. So that is going to be 400 minerals down the drain, as now Marauders are being dropped on top here. They have the high ground, but just the harassment I was talking about. Almost able to pick off a Stalker with that dropship, as it's just going to fly around and hope to do some more harassment. Just deny any expansions in the area, as the STC is getting his expansion saturated in the meanwhile, while this dropship's really doing a lot of damage. Harvester count's going to start favoring the STC very soon, and it looks like we have another expansion attempt for sSKS, while this dropship seems to be coming around, getting ready to do another drop. Extended Thermal Lances and a Colossi coming out. It might not be able to come out in time to stop this dropship. Not really sure. He's just hanging it back there, trying to get good timing with it. As this observer does see the expansion and might try and make a push. There's a bunker coming up and a factory coming up in front of the base. Not sure what that's all about. Oh, looks like that's just that factory moving locations, trying to make sure nothing really, scouts all these barracks coming up. Wow, with tech labs too. Looks like you might see more Marauders for a dropship. Who knows, as the starport is now lifting off and switching places, so that this looks like barracks is going. Are we seeing another tech lab? Yes, we are. Lots of tech labs coming up for the barracks. Might be going for a dedicated. Oh, that dropship got taken out. Very bad timing for the STC, as sSKS was ready for that dropship and was able to take down every Marauder inside it as well. That's really got to be a mineral loss there. Looking at units lost, looks like so far that dropship hasn't been worth it, as since it got sniped out, really big unit loss for the STC. And looks like sSKS might be getting ready to move out with his Colossi. His extended Thermal Lances have finished, and he was able to secure his natural. Now these Marines over there attacking at a pretty bad time, since this army seems to be moving out, taking out some scouts, as not really seeing much for the STC. I'm getting some Vikings up and lots of Marauders. Just defending with lots of Marauders, getting a very ground-heavy army while having Vikings to secure anything that might be strangling around. Factory, looks like the SEC, realizing that he's not doing anything to his factory, he's going to use it just for scouting purposes. He saw the observer and wanted to pick that off, maybe afraid it was a Dark Templar or something of the sort. As now sSKS has two Colossi coming out, as this small Marine army just rushing in, seeing what damage they can do with their Stimpak. And sSKS is really caught out of place here with his army in the center guarding the Zelnaga. And the SCC was able to kill some probes off there. Not enough to really affect the harvester counts a whole lot, but he was able to stop mining time, as sSKS is still just pumping out Colossi, and Marauders and dropships is all that's coming in here for the SCC. Very Marauder heavy army. He's really focusing on specific ground and specific air units. I mean, obviously he knows that the Colossi are in battle now after that dropship got taken out, so the Viking, very good idea to take those out, as the Marauder ground army can take out almost anything but Immortals. And the fight here is happening. Looks like the Colossi are going to get sniped out, but the Marauders are going to get taken down. Overall loss for the SCC, but he was able to take that down, all the Colossi that the sSKS had in battle. So now all that he has is a very Stalker heavy army. And looking at the units lost tab, fairly even. Bad idea for sSKS charging into this space. Marauders doing heavy damage. Custom Shells trying to play them away, as that factory was there just for scouting purposes. And it looks like he still might get taken out, but no. The Medivacs and Marauders are going to be able to hold this army. And it looks like sSKS is going to be forced back. Both players working off two expansions now. Going back to look at the production tab, so it looks like we have Marauders and Medivacs coming out for the SCC, as we're still getting Colossi out, and a Twilight Council now for sSKS, maybe trying to Psystorm these Marauders down and really do some damage to that ground army, which isn't really have any. He doesn't have any tier 2 as of yet. So Psionic Storm can do some massive damage to all these Marines and Marauders, as the STC is now getting ready to expand again at this